My name's Ashton Taylor. I was working in the restaurant industry for about 3 years before, I decided to make a change and become a setter for paintyourgrowth.com. And yeah, that's about it. Worked a little bit in construction, kind of dabbled in all the fields, and yeah, so far so good in the setter area of things. Liking it.
That's awesome. Did you have any sales experience before this?
Nothing like this. No,
Um,
completely
have
fresh.
you? Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Have you ever worked online before?
Nope, no, never worked remote. It's another new thing. Yeah, huge learning curve actually.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because we've talked about some productivity tips as well, beside the role of a setter. But I think we've talked about like how to be more efficient on the keyboard, right? It's literally
Yeah.
your tool set. Um, so what made you want to jump into like online sales and starting a setting position?
Um, I kind of ultimately I've been talking to Mike for about like Mike's my neighbor, so I've known him for years, and he posted a job opportunity about a year ago that I applied for. Unfortunately, the position got filled, and then he hit me up about a month and a half ago asking me if I'm still interested in looking for a job. I said yes because I think sales is a skill that you'll take with you throughout life, and I think it'll help you in every aspect of what you're going to do in terms of business. So yeah, I just really wanted to learn that skill, and to be honest, I thought I bit off more than I can chew. I had no idea how much went into it, and but with Wynn's help, it made the process a lot easier.
That's awesome. So tell me about your, I think last week you had like 15 sets. So like what's your best week so far?
Yeah, so I started off hot. I think I had about 12 sets my first week. The only issue was none of those guys were showing up to their appointments, so it was pretty much useless. I was just on the phone for no reason. And then yeah, so last week I have about 15 sets coming in, and I have like an 80% show rate in terms of them showing up for their appointment. So it's just, always learning, always growing. Got about 4 sales coming in the pipeline. So it's
That's
fun.
awesome. And you started like literally 4 or 5 weeks ago,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Brand new to the whole aspect of online sales and stuff.
That's a pretty awesome accomplishment. And going from 0 to 15 sets in a week. And
Yep.
you're not even working full time, like you're working what, 5 hours a day.
Yeah, about 5 hours a day. I kind of just work till I feel like I've done enough. To be honest, I don't. The more
Yep.
I work, the more money I make, essentially. So if
Yep.
that takes 8 hours a day or 3 hours a day, it's one of those things, right?
Yep. So 15 sets, you got like 4 sales in the pipeline already. And then
Yeah.
do you have like a couple more that are supposed to close or?
Yeah, I think I have one guy that closed today, really good stuff. I got one, two, probably like 4 or 5 more in the pipeline coming up that I think are I'm pretty confident that are going to close. Obviously, that's kind of out of my hands at this point, but we
Yep.
got a good team, so I think we play our
That's
cards right. We're
awesome.
going to make some money for sure.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about like what, like 2 or 3 key things that we did in the last 4 or 5 weeks to get you from 0 to like literally doing 15, like that's 60 sets a month. And if you keep up the 80% show rate, that's like 50 appointments,
Yeah,
40 to 50 appointments a month. Um, and we're not counting your commissions yet, right? So tell me 2 or 3 things that we did that really, really made an impact for you.
Um, so obviously you talked about the keyboard stuff. When I got onto online sales, I was kind of typing like this, really new to the whole thing. So
Yep.
Win gave me a couple shortcuts that I still use to this date, and that's one big thing that's really helped me in terms of like organizing my life and just being more effective, quicker with what I'm doing. Uh, a lot of psychological stuff, like I always thought that I was good at talking to people, but the what I found out is the way you word certain phrases and the way you go about saying it and tone of voice is huge in this world, right? Because you're on the phone, so you have no impression of like facial expression or anything like that. So it all has to come through your tone, which is a huge learning curve for me. And the third thing is organization. We set up a calendar for myself that is pretty strict in terms of like every minute of every day when I'm working, I'm doing something, productive and effective. So before that, my life was a little bit unstructured because I'm working nights, doing this and that, all the other stuff. But now I have a pretty set calendar in terms of what I'm doing, and obviously with working remote, I can move that around a little bit. So just the whole organization of your day, shortcuts on the keyboard, and tonality and psychological aspect of sales that we really went over.
Yeah. Love. I didn't expect the keyboard to come up. But
Actually, I got
glad to
one
hear
more
it's
thing
been
too.
helpful. Sure.
I got one more thing. So in sales, you when someone pictures sales, they're like, oh, like get this now for blah, 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 this happy go lucky guy. But I've come to realize that a lot of it is, you're the cheerleader and all the boys want you, right? And that's the mentality you kind of have to go into it with, because, you're trying to convince someone and, open their mind up to what they want versus, what you want, right? So that's the type of, it's just a mentality shift that we talked about lots.
Yeah. I think like I might have said it to you, I might have not, but like half of sales is just like a mental game.
Yeah.
And then the other half is really like practice and organization. So glad to hear it's been working out. We talked about the double tap, right?
Yeah, the double tap. Yeah.
Does that help at all?
Oh yeah, big time. Well, even myself, man, if I'm getting a call from someone I don't know, I'm hanging up. I don't have time. But then if they call me back, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna answer. But yeah, so a lot of times I'll call the guy and they'll just hang up on me. That's fine. Call them back and all of a sudden I have a set and a sale.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
it's about resilience. You can't let you can't let it get to your head, because at the end of the day you're doing your job, and you need to prove to them that you're gonna help them out. And consistency. Like, just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again if it's working.
Just like golf.
Yeah, it's just like golf. Yeah.
How helpful was it with the role play at the beginning? I know
Really
we did a bunch of that in the beginning.
Yeah, we so for the first week I was working with Wayne, I actually didn't touch the phones at all, and like within the company, we like made out the script and we were just doing role play between each other, and it kind of got a lot of the jitters out, right? Because it's nerve wracking. You're doing this new thing and you're getting this, it's just a new world that you're getting introduced to. So being able to do it, to pitch your sale and to like rehearse your pitch and that type of thing in your script,
Yep.
with someone that's going to give you positive, constructive feedback, and not someone that's just going to yell at you on the phone telling you how bad you are at your job, is really huge. Really huge.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Glad to hear it's been working out. What are you most excited next for the role?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know how big the world of online sales is. So I'm definitely most excited, to apply these skills into whether that be my own business or, working with other businesses as well. I'm just excited to use the skills I've learned with working with Win in other aspects of my life and other business ventures that I might have going forward.
Hey, listen, we'll trade skills. You can teach me golf.
Yeah, well, I don't know how
do you
good
see
of a
yourself
teacher I'll be.
do you see yourself going back to the restaurant industry, or this is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, no.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you for hopping on and sharing your experience so far. I appreciate you. And continue to crush it. I will say, I could have said the exact same thing, giving you the exact same coaching and processes, but if you didn't take massive actions and like truly care about this, I know one of the things you mentioned to me early on was like you were mad because you were making phone calls and you weren't getting answers. And we continue to work through that. But if you didn't do that, no amount of coaching would have helped. So more than half of this is really just your hard work and the input that you put into it. Like volume negates luck, like we talked about. But definitely having guidance helps. But it takes somebody who wants to do this and who's dedicated to the craft to begin with. So can't take all the credits here. But glad to hear it's working out. Keep crushing it, dude. And then we'll see you maybe in a closing room in a few months.
Absolutely. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? Always trying to
That's
move up in
awesome.
the world.
That's right.